Again, it's probably 7 something in the morning, maybe almost 8. I forgot what time it is. This morning on Friday, Good Jummah. Good Friday, Good Jummah, May the 3rd, 2013. I'm going to take you to a job center where if the weather's warm, people are going to be coming out half naked, half lewd and nude, L-E-W-D, nude, N-U-D-E. They're going to come out in San Francisco, and I'm going to try to talk to a couple of Afro-American women. And what I'm going to try to tell you, and it's lewd of me, Islam, but I've got nobody to marry. I have nobody to marry. I've been barred by myjodo.net. There's another site called Muslima.com with an A at the end, Muslima.com. A lot of good Malayu and other sisters. They barred me there. In any Singaporean, there were Singaporeans who had expressed interest in me for marriage. Suddenly, after they expressed interest, they would not log back on it for days, if not weeks, until it faded away that I stopped coming in online, and then they would come back and they would deal with other people, as if the Singapore government has prohibited, with the help of U.S. law enforcement and intelligence, that I'm to marry any Singaporean. That Singaporean women are prohibited from dealing with me. Yeah, by the ISD and by the SID as well, which is the external arm of Singapore's ISD. And believe me, the SID was right here, working and active in San Francisco. And they used to look at me and say, "He's negative, and I'm negative energy, and anger and all that." You are fucking. Let me rephrase this. The information your superiors are getting at best is disingenuous. It's not an outright lie. You are running on lies. Stop it. You, as well as the Israeli Shin Bet and Mossad that you've been working with here. I have all the evidence to support this. And I've given it over to a couple of attorneys who are not involved in this type of law to hold it. It's a complete goddamn lie. So all these websites, Muslima.com, which is owned by Australian non-Muslim, Cupid Media, Pty, private limited in Australia. And when I would do charges to Cupid Media, they would say, charges from my card, my debit card, every time I do it, even if it's for $29, they would contact Chase Fraud Alert. Chase Fraud Alert. Why am I spending money with Cupid Media for $29 for a romantic marriage, Menikah service? So I'm being allowed to speak to someone who is a maid in Singapore of Indonesian ancestry, but in her puki, in her body, she has a lot of experience. She has a lot of mileage, activity, and sexual, sexual libido. But that libido could turn awry against you once the woman becomes disillusioned or doesn't become focused on you anymore. It can turn the libido to another man. That's the dangerous part. It could be another trap of the devil. The only one that is of solid mention is a sister of very dark East African ancestry, which I don't have the means to get to. I don't have the means. There's another Malayu sister, over 150 kilograms, or even 170, but she has emotional issues, being that there was a Yemeni man, and he found out that she was raped and assaulted when she was 6, and then he took her and invited her somewhere to a cabin or a house outside, and then bent her over and grabbed her or pushed her against her and started raping her. Forcibly raping her and pinning her against a wall or in the kitchen. I'm saying that was her first adult rape. And that really traumatized her, because this Yemenis, who are a lot of Malayu, the higher level of Malayu ancestry, some of the business merchant class of Yemenis, Arab, they just take the Bumi Putra Puki, the pussy, they just take it. They take it and they rape it. They steal it. They steal the virginity of the pure Bumis, the indigenous people. They just take it as they please. Them, Indo-Pakistanis, high Pakistani ancestors, they just take it. Just rip it and take it as they please. Being that they have more wealth, lawyers, hierarchies, attorneys. Now Malaysia is acting against that. Malaysia is cracking down on that shit. They're not playing that shit, man. But at the time, with the bomos, even the bomos come, and then the girl wake up and she's got semen. She got semen and spligum all coming all out. And if she wake up after dealing with the bomo, or drowse or mesmerized, all that kind of stuff stolen. She's bleeding on it. She doesn't know why, and she feels the hurt as like a gap, a penetration. It's been all up in there, deep in there, and she doesn't even know. The virginity is stolen, robbed, taken, and all of that. So this other sister, 100-something kilos, Chinese, by the way, Chinese ancestry, she has real issues, man. Real hurt up in here, man. Real hurt, man. I might not be able to deal with that. might not be able to deal with that. But I'm curious to no end, why am I being permitted to speak with the maid, the former maid, but I'm not permitted to deal with any other Singaporean? I'm very curious as to why. And the Singapore ISD, SID's involvement. That would be assigned to the SID, who has Australian racist, Australian anti-Afro. Let me correct myself. Australian anti-Afro racist counterparts within the Federal Service, who would actually work on that. And they would put pressure on Cupid Media that any search results. See, this is the NSA sort of war. Any search results he gets and members that are interested in him, you contact him with derogatory or deriding information about him, and therefore he doesn't get any more contact that would help him. He doesn't get any more contact that would help him. You do that. That would be on the Australian side. They do that kind of stuff, man. Like I said, I'm from Manhattan, what they call Nacimiento in Manhattan. I'm born in New York, raised by a second mother from Boricua ancestry. I'm no fool. I'm not a dummy. I look like a monkey, what they call mono. I'm no dummy. Trust me, brother. No dummy. And they set up and they take your relationships, man, using these tools. I sat a few months ago, in front of the director of the National Security Agency, General Alexander, Keith Alexander. Very nice guy, man. Very nice guy, man. Brother from New York. He's from New York, man. So we could communicate with each other as fellow New Yorker. And then I stood near General Dempsey during Fleet Week when he came through, and the guys were shocked. People were shocked, man. That's how we were standing near General Dempsey. General Dempsey is from New Jersey, so we can relate to each other. Not like people that are from out here, come pampered, spoon in their mouth, malls and cinemas, ice cream lattes, they get everything they want. People like Larry Ellison and other New Yorkers and the guy that runs Farallon Capital Management, all that people, they had to fight for that money, man. They had to fight and the scratch and the claw for every goddamn dime they got, man. All the billions they got, they had to fucking fight for that goddamn money, man. So they know those guys, what it's like. These people out here, man, and we love them, man. These people in this Bay Area. I love the people of San Francisco and the structure of San Francisco. There's a lot about it I don't like, but I have a deep love for them and a debt to these people, man. These people out here are pampered, man. Very, very pampered. The word is not spoiled. Spoiled is a misnomer and misappropriation or misapplication of grammar. They are pampered. These are very pampered people out here. Very pampered, man. They got everything out here, man. In New York, man, we give us, especially living under certain communities, where if I say it, the ADL and others be all over me, they give us nothing. We get a good education, even in the ragtag schools, but as far as structure for entrepreneurship, fuel, which actually means capital, as I was talking about, I'm not fraudulent. You can prove it. We are given nothing, not even under 25,000. This is why I was talking to Jack Dorsey, Ron Conway, the Drapers. I mentioned it, the old man Draper, but he didn't really listen to me. That's Skull and Bones crowd. Those are people that really run the buttons. Skull and Bones. I mentioned we don't even have access to under 25,000. See, this guy, he's a federal agent type. And there was a black man that looked like him that was driving a car that looked like him in Santa Clara when I went to the MCA. He was driving a car with weird antennas. A dark-skinned black man with a Virginia license plate. Weird antennas. I never forgot it. These people are sick, man, in the head, man. They're mentally fucking sick, man. In their fucking head, man. And they have this fucking agenda, man. I don't know what the fuck it is, man. They got an agenda, man, an intention, and then I'm not going to let them execute their intention on me. They're not going to execute their intention on me. My ancestry, we have gone through too much suffering, man, under these people to let people of Semitic ancestry and others cajole us, man, into bending knee to them, man. I'm not going to do it, man. Particularly taking away your economic right to ascendancy, man. Using law enforcement tools. It's disgusting, man. They're doing that. Man. These some nasty people, man. Very nasty people. They're guilty. Not individually like it's his fault, it's her fault. No. But there's a complicity in the structure. But individually, they're not at fault. But the superstructure, the general structure is at fault. It's nasty.